This is the 888 Poker PGA EuroPro Tour, and for event 3 we're in Devon, where for the 6th consecutive year we return to the spectacular Bovey Castle for the Your Golf Travel Classic. Bovey Castle is located on the edge of the Dartmoor National Park, the largest, wildest and one of the most beautiful areas of open countryside in southern England. At the gate to this glorious garden is a course that first opened in 1930, originally designed by English course architect John Abercrombie, but it has since been tweaked and rejuvenated by Donald Steele and Tom Mackenzie, providing this varied challenge in the stunning setting that you see today. There is no doubt in the course's unmistakable charm and individuality, and it certainly comes with a unique past and family tree, as Managing Director Jeremy Rata explains.
It was built in 1907 by Viscount Hambledon, and their family, probably better known for W.H. Smith's, was their main business. And this was his country retreat. Since then, it was sold in the 30s and became part of British Transport Hotels, which are better perhaps known for they were at one stage the owner of not only this, but Gleneagles, Turnberry, great golfing hotels with great golfing heritage. Then in the late 90s, Peter de Savary bought it, developed where we are now, where we're stood now, added some great additions to the hotel, swimming pool and this terrace and balconies. And then we took it over in 2006 and have upgraded it and refurbished it and brought it to the splendour you see now. Ryder Cup at Gleneagles, Open at Turnberry, we're always going to be the little sister to those courses. But it's so interesting, the amount of people that we have that come and play us, that have played those courses, say how much they enjoy this course, because whilst it's not long, it is tight and it's a test of golf. And Richard and Darren and I, in the last 3-4 years, the 4 years that I've been here particularly, we have been spending a large amount of time making it even tougher in that way, so that this is one of the, what I call old-fashioned courses, where you don't just, like so many modern courses, as long as you can hit the ball 300 yards, you're fine. Here, very seldom you're going to be using a driver off the tee. You've got to actually think your way around this course. And I think that's partly why the pros like this, because they have to take a really considered approach to get the most out of it. And if you really think your way around this course, it's exhausting, but it's rewarding. For 6 years now, we've been running the EuroPro Tour here, and it's a big part. It also is a great motivator, a morale booster for the greens team here, because this course and the work that they do on it every day, all year, gets seen on television by many people, and I think it'll look quite splendid this year as well.
The Par 70 course has become a popular and regular fixture on the calendar. At around 6,600 yards, it's by no means the longest the golfers will play, but Bovey has never been about length. Head pro Richard Lewis gives us an insight into this special place.
Bovey Castle, they've played before. It's not a long course, 6,300 yards in modern terms. They're 6.72, 7.6. So this is quite short, but it's tough. The tour players, although they're as good as they are, they won't find it really easy. The scoring it'll be good because the condition of the course is very good, but I don't let anyone run away with it. It's all about just position this week. We had a very dry March, which stopped the growth. I mean, just when we needed a bit of warmth, April came with some frost, and then May we've had 192 millimetres of rain. So Darren Ellis and his team they've had to work so hard over the last 3 weeks. Cutting's been difficult, and to get the greens into shape, I didn't think we were going to do it, but it's looking really good at the moment. It's a steady, intelligent golfer. As I just said, it's not someone who wants to hit the driver 300 yards. It's someone who's going to pick holes like the 9th. They can go for it, not much gained unless they hit the green. They're more likely to get in trouble. So it's a player that gets there, hits about a 4-iron, then a wedge in, tries to make a free that way rather than hitting it all the way in the air. The biggest hazard are the two rivers, Bovey and Bowden. They meander through the back 9, and you just got to plot your way around that river. It comes into play 8 holes on that 9, so you can run up a score if you don't play it intelligently. 7's very good. It's a nice look down on the green, but the best holes are the back 9. They're beautiful. That river meandering through some spectacular holes, some of the finest in the country. The condition the greens are, and they're receptive. If the wind doesn't pick up, I'd say it could go to 16, 17 under this week. Wind picks up, you'll knock it back, but the greens are good. They'll be rolling some putts in this week. We love it. We just love seeing the players, the dedication. You see them on the practice ground from 5:30 in the morning through to 9, and the tour's improving, and we look forward to it next year.
We'll be hearing more from Richard later on in the show as we take a closer look at the course and provide some tips to help improve your game. Now, it's safe to say that the first 2 events of the season were a complete washout. Event number 1 at Wensum Valley in Norfolk was reduced to a 2-round tournament after torrential rain on the first day. Similarly, the heavens opened at Lingfield Park in Surrey, forcing the cut to be made after just the opening round. Fortunately, the British summer has finally arrived, and in Bovey, the sun has well and truly got its hat on. With temperatures expected to reach a high so far this year, it's a welcome relief for the EuroPro players.
I love it like this, even though I'm fair-skinned and go a bit red, but I do like it like this.
Firstly, it's nice to play in a t-shirt, you know, you feel a bit looser and freer.
Very nice, the greens are very firm. It's important to hit the fairways, keep it nice and straight and hold a few putts.
The shots into the greens are a lot different, you're looking for release.
Get a little bit more bouncier, it's a little bit more crucial to hit fairways and the greens firm up a bit.
A bit disappointed I didn't bring my suntan lotion, but topping up the tan anyway.
If you could sum up Bovey in 3 words, what would they be?
Picturesque.
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 Beautiful.
Hot.
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 Dry.
Scenic.
Very scenic.
Pretty.
Peaceful.
Enjoyable.
A lovely place.
Can't think, sorry.
And puts a smile on my face.
What a difference the weather can make. The sun is shining and the players are smiling. But who is still smiling after their opening 2 rounds? Here's Richard Kaufman with a brief rundown of the action. Take it away, Richard.
Thanks, Charlie. Up first, professional footballer Gary O'Neill. The West Ham player on a high from his team's recent promotion to the Premier League. Brought back down to earth, though, in round 1 and 2 as the scratch golfer tried his hand at professional golf. We hear how he got on in a moment. 2011 Order of Merit winner Chris Hansen returned to defend his title, but he missed the cut by 2 shots. Now on the Challenge Tour, Hansen unable to produce the form that saw him triumph twice at Bovey Castle. Tyrrell Hatton charged in contention on day 2 with a blistering round of 64, a welcome return to form. Following victory at the EuroPro's Q Score, he finished tied 14th in Event 1, but missed the cut last time out. Michael McGeady won in his debut season on the Challenge Tour back in 2008, but couldn't sustain that momentum. No such problems in round 2, building on an opening round 68. The Irishman shot a faultless 63. He's in 3rd. Martin Lomisure is well placed to record back-to-back wins on the EuroPro as his consistent form continues. The former European Tour player back in business with his golf, as we find out later on in the show. But leading the way is another former European Tour player, Stuart Manly, whose impressive start to the season continued with 1 solitary bogey in 2 rounds of 64. 3rd place behind Lomisure last time. Could it be his week this time?
One name you might have recognised in that roundup is Gary O'Neill. The West Ham midfielder has captained England under-21s and played for Portsmouth and Middlesbrough. A familiar face in football, but golf, perhaps he's trying to forge a future career in another of the world's great games. Gary, we're not used to seeing you in this attire, in this environment, so what's made you come and play golf competitively?
I just had an invite from the guys at EuroPro. I wasn't really prepared, having been in the playoffs for the last 3 weeks, but thought I'd come down and see what it was all about. Really enjoyed it. Really grateful that they let me come down and play.
So how did you find it?
I found it tough, to be fair. I found it really nerve-wracking. Obviously, as competitive as it gets for me is normally 100 quid with my mates on a Sunday morning. So it was a bit of a step up from that. And the guys are so good, you know, they're doing it for a living. I knew that anyway. I've played with a few guys before, but they're so good and they don't miss any shots. And you just feel a little bit awkward and a little bit out of place when you start missing some. But I enjoyed it anyway. I tried not to hold anyone up, and we'll see if we can get better in the future.
Is golf something that you normally play outside of football then?
Yeah, I play it quite a bit. You know, when football allows, I really enjoy it. It's nice to get some time away, some decent weather. So it's a great game, and I like trying to master it, which is impossible, as I found out today. But yeah, I really like having to practice and trying to get better.
You said that you were pretty nervous going into it. How much did that affect your game, do you think?
Definitely. I mean, it's the worst. Today's the worst I've ever played, I think, since I've taken up golf, and took up when I was about 7. So it was definitely nerves, but something that hopefully now I've played in one, if I play in another one, it won't be as bad.
Now, what is it, I want to know, about golf and footballers? What's the attraction?
I think it's just we get a bit of time off in the afternoons, and we try and find something to do that doesn't attract too much media attention. So we play a bit of golf and try and keep it quiet. So yeah, it's just a nice way to spend some time.
You mentioned the playoff final, and
Yeah.
that it was 3 weeks ago. How, reflecting back, is the buzz now?
Oh, it was brilliant. It was an amazing day. Best footballing day of my life. There's so much pressure on it, and the difference between one win and one loss is so huge to the club and the fans and everyone. So walking up them steps to get the winners' medal at Wembley was fantastic, and the atmosphere after with all the fans. So it's something I'll remember for a long time.
And how much are you relishing being back in the Premier League?
Yeah, brilliant. You know, I'm looking forward to playing 8 less games to start with. 46 games in a season with my ankle injury was tough. Playing Tuesday night every week, so that should be a bit easier for me. And I would have thought, knowing West Ham, they backed the gaffer last year and brought in some good players, so I would expect we'll add to the squad again this season.
For this summer, is it football or golf?
Well, yeah, I'll be resting my ankle a little bit. I might play golf next week. They've been kind enough to give me an invite next week, so I might be over in Northern Ireland having a game. But then after that, I'm going to Dubai on a family holiday to get some rest and get ready for next season.
I just want to put the Hammers fans at rest. Is it going to be football coming September, or are you going to dabble back into golf?
No, it'll be football at least until I'm 35. And then we'll see what we can do. You know, what I realised today is these guys are doing it 8 till 5 every day, and they're like machines. You know, they do the same thing every time. And I haven't played for 3 weeks because of the playoffs and turn up expecting to do okay. So it doesn't work like that, as I've found out. So we'll do some practice this week and see how we get on next week.
So do you reckon that down the line that you would want to after you finish football?
I mean, I love it, you know, and I've managed to get my handicap down to scratch. And I love playing. So the guys are so good that it's going to be tough. But if I was good enough, it would be something that I'd definitely do. So we'll see. Yeah.
Thanks, Gary.
No worries.
So this is how it stands heading into the final round of the Your Golf Travel Classic. Welshman Stuart Manly leading the way at 12 under par, just a shot back, looking for back-to-back wins is Martin Lomisure, but any number of contenders going in to this final round. Let's hear from the contenders now.
I've been working hard through the winter. I've put a lot of work on with the new coach, and it seems to be paying off. You know, I'm just going out there trying to focus on what I'm trying to do, my targets, and it seems to be working. You know, I just hope it can continue today. I wouldn't be one of the longest guys out here, like, you know, so but I'm relatively straight. So I like to just pick targets and hit shots that I know I can hit, so I can go out there with a confident swing. Yeah, if I can get myself on fairways and set me up for good approach shots, that's what my goal is today, and then hopefully I can get a few putts.
Round 1 and 2's been great so far. Hit the ball really nicely. Just struggled a bit on the greens, to be fair. Reading them okay, just struggling hitting it on the line I want to. So hopefully today I'll sort that out. I had a week off last week, so it gave me a good opportunity to work on my game, which was much needed, as I'd played quite a few tournaments in the last few weeks and been going through a bit of a bad spell. So to get the opportunity to practice and just work on a few things has really helped.
Round 1 I played lovely. I think I hit 17, 18 greens, shot 6 under, played great. Round 2 was a little bit more scrappy, but I chipped and putted well. My wedges were great, so yeah, playing well. It's just nice to be in contention. I've been in contention the last couple of years that often on the European Tour, and so get back into contention, you know, get the butterflies going in your stomach. It's nice. It's what we practice hard for.
So that's the view of some of the players challenging for the title here this week. I'm Richard Kaufman, delighted to say alongside me is former European Tour winner Ross McFarlane. Ross, starting off with Michael McGeady, hot yesterday with that round of 63. Not always easy, is it, to follow that up with another good round?
Very difficult, and one of the toughest things is the start here at Bovey Castle. A very tough par 4, followed by a tough par 3, so a couple of pars, the order of the day needed.
Well, not going to be simple from there, having hit the tree. Here's the 20-year-old from Harlow, Tyrrell Hatton. 64 from him yesterday. Leading a little to the left, so that may be also leaking a bit to the right, but only a little bit, that's fine. Hole high. Of course, with the leader at 12 under par, these players starting at 9 under, they need a good fast start, because you're going to have to shoot probably mid-60s if you're that far back.
I think if you can get under par maybe in the first 4 or 5 holes, you're doing very well indeed. Green's in great condition. Look at this one. Beautiful from Stuart Archibald. What a start he's had.
Yeah, parred the first, birdie at the second, takes him to 7 under. And you just don't know. Chris Hansen, when he won here last year, shot a final round of 63 to take the title. Now, Martin Lumario, winner, of course, at Lingfield Park. That's a nice looking swing. Of course, he started his final round winning that event with an eagle at the first, chipped in there. Be hoping for a similar fast start here today.
Sadly, Stuart Manly started poorly at Lingfield Park. Powerful Welshman started this down the right, and this is staying out there. Oh, it would.
In the lap of the gods, isn't it, really? White flag's being shown, so I think they know where the ball is. Well, McGeady also hit the trees. He's managed to chip up to here, but important putt this to try and save his par at the opening hole. No. Well, after the brilliance of yesterday, disappointing start for McGeady. He said he'd been working really hard. And he said about how, you know, he's a straight hitter, and it really is that course, isn't it? It's not about power. It's 6,300 yards long.
Yeah, it's a par 70, of course, and it's a good test, but you have to keep the ball in play. Well, that's a great putt at the first.
Well, especially after he said he was struggling on the greens. That's a real confidence booster, isn't it?
Birdie at the first. That is a real bonus. Hasn't been many of those this week.
Mark Lasky, Welshman, although he does live on the other side of the Severn Bridge, but very much considers himself a Welshman.
Luckily, just going past that tree which is guarding the left side of the green.
280 yards that fourth hole, so it is within range. He's got to be so confident, Martin Lumario. I think we've seen a little bit of that there.
Lovely approach. Those are 2 great shots to start his day. Now this second hole, very strong par 3, 208 yards. Plays a little bit longer with the breeze.
Yeah, there's a fair bit of breeze around.
Front right-hand bunker. It's going to be tough there to get up and down. Manly found the trees off the tee, laid up to here, just a mid-wedge. Pulled this one a little. Yeah, just a fraction. That's why it's gotten long. Long and left, they go together.
Lasky is chipped up to here. This for a birdie. So back to where he started the day at 7 under.
And Hatton has come out of the bunker. He's left himself a good 15, 20 feet. Right to left up the hill. Good effort. Well, the tee shot the problem. It was a nice putt. Seemed to read it quite well. Hit that in firmly. Level par after 2.
So after finding the trees off the tee, saw his third shot slightly pulled, as you say. This tough one then to save par. So it's going to be a drop shot at the first, and we could see a two-shot swing here, couldn't we, Russ?
Yeah, and quite a significant one then for our winner from a couple of weeks ago, Martin Lumario, with no more than, what, 3.5 feet for a birdie. What a start. This to get to 12 under and take the lead.
So there you go, all change straight away at the top of the leaderboard of the Your Golf Travel Classic here at Bovey Castle. Martin Lumario started the final round a shot behind, one hole gone, and he's a shot ahead. Tyrrell Hatton also birdieing the first, but gave that shot back at the second, but very much in the frame.
The latest winner on the EuroPro Tour is Martin Lumario, who first played the tour back in 2002. After securing his Challenge Tour card for the 2003 season, he won twice and had 9 top 10 finishes. This was enough to earn his playing rights on the European Tour the following year, but unfortunately things didn't go according to plan, and now he's back playing competitive golf where it all began. Martin, it's lovely to see you. First, let's talk about your win last time out. How tough was it for you to get across the finish line?
It was tough, to be honest, because obviously I haven't been there for a long time. Obviously I'd only just come back sort of this time last year really for a full season, so I was a little bit rusty to say the least.
And how nervous were you knowing that you had to make the last putt?
But to be honest, I wasn't really that nervous. I was sort of focused on what I needed to do. It wasn't really until I got to the 17th that I knew I needed to make 2 pars to win. So it wasn't really until that point that I really started to think about winning.
And how big a win was that for you?
It was really big. Obviously, just not really playing for so long. Having a few years off and that, it sort of justified sort of my decision to come back.
You first played on the tour 10 years ago, so talk us through your career in the early stages.
Well, early on, I'd really just gotten back from America from a golf scholarship, so I was sort of pretty naive, just like I suppose most of the guys out here when they first start out. And it was hard work, it's a sort of slow learning curve.
Why did you fall out of the love of the game? You mentioned it just a second ago there. Why was that?
I think it's it's not really the golf, it's everything that comes with it. Obviously, there's a lot of travelling involved. I've been doing it really since I was sort of 20. I went to America when I was 20, and that's all I did there for sort of 4.5 years, is travelling, playing golf, and then I'd come back in the summer, play more golf. It sounds great, but when you sort of decide to start doing it for a living, and things sort of don't go quite well, then it does make you start thinking about what I wanted to do.
Do you think it did you good to just step away and have a little bit of a breather?
Yeah, it did, definitely. I needed to get away because I wasn't playing well. I was spending a lot of money. It's certainly not cheap to come and play golf. And my head wasn't really in the game, and I just thought there's really no point turning up each week not knowing where the ball's going and not really sort of knowing whether I wanted to be there or not.
You did decide to come back, which we're very pleased. Competitively last year. What made you come back?
To be honest, there's a few different things. The job market really was, I tried doing other things, tried getting other jobs, doing other things, and obviously they're hard to come by at the moment. I was renovating our house over the winter, sort of 2 years ago, and then when I was sort of coming to the end of doing that, I thought, well, there's really no job, there's nothing for me to do when I finish this. So I was starting to miss the golf over the winter, and then I thought, well, I think my head's sort of in a better place, so why not give it another go?
How are you enjoying it now?
I'm certainly enjoying it a lot more, a lot better now than I was. I certainly enjoy the practice. I certainly enjoy the the tournament golf more, and the travelling side of it's not quite so cumbersome.
How do you feel your game is now in comparison to before?
I think it's better than it was sort of even in 2003 when I did well and got on the main tour in 2004. My head's definitely in a better place. My sort of game's coming around. I still feel a little bit rusty from time to time. It's having such a long time off in the winters as well doesn't help. Which I'm certainly going to concentrate on trying to do is stay a bit more competitive over the winters now.
You keep mentioning your head being in the right place. How important is the mental side to the game?
It's obviously very important. I mean, you look at guys like Luke Donald. They're very strong mentally. They certainly know what they want to do. They know where they want to get their games, and they're focused 100% on the golf course, which is what you need to be in order to compete.
Well, that's what you seem to be doing at the moment. You had a win last time out. Back-to-back wins. Now we're here at Bovey.
Well, hopefully, you never know. The course obviously suits my game. It's very similar to Lingfield actually. There's a lot sort of just positional play off the tee. The greens and the whole course really is in excellent shape. So if I can just keep doing what I'm doing, then I should be fine.
Have you got a plan tactically?
Not really. It's just sort of stay focused, really, as you mentioned. Just stay focused and obviously try and make some putts. That's all it comes down to, really.
Thank you very much, Martin.
All right, thank you.
Best of luck for the rest of the competition.
Cheers.
Well, fascinating story, isn't it, Martin Lomisure? And he's, as Charlie said, maybe a chance of back-to-back wins. Birdie at the first. He's now the tournament leader. Yesterday he parred the first and then reeled off 6 birdies in a row.
This second hole probably around about 185 yards to the front, slightly uphill, so it plays a little longer, and has been playing one of the tougher holes.
Well, Manly, after that nervous start, anywhere on the putting surface will do here. And as he admitted himself, it's been a while since he's been in contention, so getting those final round competitive juices flowing, not always easy, as McGeady found out. Bogeyed the first, bogeyed the second as well, but on the fairway here at number 3.
Just a 323 yard par 4. And that leaves him a slight uphill putt. Ideal opportunity for Michael.
Yeah, he's 5 shots back now. Haylock at this drivable par 4.
It's a very narrow entry through some tall fir trees, and if you're straight like that, you can get it on the green, and that's a super tee shot.
Yeah, he could be one to watch today, Tom Haylock. Won a couple of times on the EuroPro Tour.
Awkward little pitch here for Missourier over the edge of the fringe. And it's one side of his game that looked so good a couple of weeks ago at Lingfield Park.
Interesting story though, isn't it? Quit the game, not play for 3 years, and obviously pick up the clubs again. It takes a bit of guts first of all to stop, and then obviously to decide to come back.
Well, once you've got golf in your blood, it stays there all your life.
Geedy could have done with that, couldn't he, after those drop shots at the first 2 holes. But there's birdie opportunities everywhere, really. I mean, obviously danger lurks as well.
That was a long-range par attempt at the first, which was a failure. Manly. And this long putter is working, thank goodness. That'll make him feel a lot better after a shaky start for Stuart.
Yeah, hopefully that'll calm him down, as you say. Stays a shot back. Be a par for the Missouri at the second. Now Haylock. This for an eagle. Now this would get him motoring, wouldn't it?
Across the green, little right to left at the end. Just beyond the ring of friendship, you would call that. Not quite inside the leather.
Now Lasky, you don't want to mess with him. He's got a black belt in Kempo and Jiu-Jitsu. Bit of a martial arts expert.
That's self-defense.
Sure. As I said, you don't want to start with him. That's a lovely touch though there, isn't it?
Birdie putt for Haylock.
Well, after that drive, he doesn't want to miss out on the birdie, does he?
And he doesn't. Perfect.
Yeah, first birdie of the day after 3 pars for Tom, who's part of the Red Golf team. And he's got Jason, who's caddying for him this week. You might see him, he's a bit of a good player himself.
Nice tee shot by Manly. Just a pitch with the sand wedge. Oh, and you mustn't miss your target with that sort of club in your hand. It's going to leave a very awkward little pitch. And he knows it. Aficionados of a smooth golf swing, just watch the rhythm of the Lomisure. There's no rush, no speed. Quite Donald-like in a way.
Yeah, you won't mind that comparison. He was talking about the mental temperament of Donald in his interview. And right now he's looking good, isn't he? Driver then for McGeady.
Said in his interview he's not the longest, but he likes to say that he's one of the straighter hitters. Started this down the right. Clonk.
Now that's what you call a members bounce or bit of luck. Might just trickle down the slope a bit, but he'll take that.
Absolutely.
Haylock has just birdied that hole. Well, he's been working hard on his game. McGeady was talking about what he was doing in the winter. Haylock working hard with his new coach, David March. Splits the fairway.
Manly then. Awkward pitch. There's a little slope just in the front of the green. He tried to kill that into the bank. So he's got that left for a par. He really is finding this first few holes going tough.
McGeady then did stay on that slope. Well, that should be a first birdie of the day.
Playing the easiest hole all week, this one, Richard. You know, and you would have thought so, really. A drivable par 4.
Yeah, not one where you want to miss out on the birdie. So Hatton has this to get to double digits.
A little bit more, maybe. Great
See,
you missed the hole. Good work.
He's a bit frustrated. It's easy for me to laugh, but he finds it no laughing matter. Young and very much determined, isn't he, Tyrrell Hatton? Made his professional debut on the EuroPro Tour at Mottram Hall last season. And as you say, for Stuart Manly, Ross, it's just not happening over these first few holes, and he really is going to have to dig deep now.
Yeah, it started the same way at Lingfield Park a couple of weeks ago when he had an opportunity. Lomisure to extend his lead.
Yeah, this for a 3-shot advantage. Well, it's stress-free at least, although he'll be obviously annoyed to miss out on the birdie there, but he's looking very much in control of his game.
Haylock trying to draw this one in. Round the trees. Got that shape, you could see it. That's why when the ball landed, it just released to the left. That's a good shot.
Well, he's certainly got the talent to shoot low. I remember when he won at Stoke by Nayland, he won by 8 shots a few years back.
Manly can reach this with a 3-wood. He's going with a little driver, just holding it up a little cut through the narrow gap. See, that's too much club for him.
Oh dear. Not sure if that tree will impede his swing or not, but the lie was very tangly.
Birdie putt. Little left to right at the end. Nice.
Couple back now. Back-to-back birdies for Tom Haylock. Yeah, that tree is a little in the way, so as you can see, holding the club down the grip. Not lying too bad though.
Just a case of get it in the middle of the green, give himself an opportunity, a possible opportunity of making a birdie, but I think right now he'll take par.
And after the frustration at the last, Hatton here needs to get up and down.
Played that well. Probably played that too well. Got a lot of spin. Just needs to calm down. Still thinking about the missed putt on the last hole. You can see it in his body language.
Yeah, but he's, sees the leader started at 12 under and probably thinks he needs a fast start, so missing out on what you say is the easiest hole in the week. Down to grate a little.
Birdie to get to 8 under for Mark Lasky.
Right, says birdie putt, but it's a pretty good 2-putt from here.
It's up a ridge there, then goes a little left to right and then straightens out. And certainly got the line pretty good there, Stuart Manly. Just a par on the easiest hole of the course.
So Lumario, another chance to stretch his lead. Another chance goes a-begging. Well, it's great the way he's playing. He's giving himself birdie putts on every hole, but it's just the one birdie so far, which came at the first. Needs that putter just to get it all hotter. And if he does, he's going to be hard to catch. But Tom Haylock's making a good old fight of it, isn't he? Another birdie on the 6th, 3 in a row. Cuts Lumasure's lead to 1. Haylock now at 11 under par. Stuart Manly, tough start for him here at the Your Golf Travel Classic.
We're at the 3rd at Bovey Castle, and joining me is head professional Richard Lewis, and we're going to talk you through a shot that we think is going to be used quite a lot this week because of how tight the course is. But Richard, you explain to us why we'd be in this position.
Well, as you said, Charlie, the course is very, very tight, and although the tour players, as good as they are, will be playing for position, they won't just be reckless going for the green with driver. They'll be trying to get in the right position, just hit the fairway, run through, and you're in this position. Not a bad lie, but you've got the trees, it's a tree-lined course. You can't go over the top, you've got to be able to thread it underneath.
So what shot would you use to get out?
I will just use an 8 or a 7 iron, just a low punch, pitch it just short of the green, the bank will kill it, and then it'll just run up and hopefully drift round towards the pin.
Can you explain to us how that would be done then?
Yeah, as I said, the ball's lying quite well for in the rough. We're going to take it back in the stance.
And what stance would you use? Is it different?
Yeah, slightly open stance, just left of the target. Then my hips are halfway through, so I'm going to have a big swing. A big swing with a big follow through brings the ball up. I'm going to clip the trees. So at all costs, I've got to keep that follow through fairly short, fairly stunted. Keep my hands in front of the ball, not do a normal follow through and allow the clubber to go through. And then I'm going to keep it low. It's just going to run down. The only question I would ask is do I go for the safe shot and just get it on the green, and then 2 putts to the par, or do I try and get a little bit clever and go for the flag? Lot more risk reward then.
So you're going to be clever. You talk a good game, so go on. Are you going to have a go?
Yeah.
Show us how it's done.
Went for the safe one.
Oh, that was quite good.
Yeah, it's not bad. I should get my par from there, so...
Would you be happy with that?
I would. The tour players would try and get just a little bit closer.
Well, we'll be talking to you a little bit later with your tips, but for now, let's get back to the action.
Not a bad effort, was it, really? Here's our tournament leader, Martin Lumario. Of course, having been in this position a couple of weeks ago, he'll be pretty pleased with the way he started. If only he could have maybe bagged a few more birdie putts.
It's always that though, Rich, isn't it? If only I could just hole a few more putts. Lay up on that tee, get it short of the tongue of rough which comes across the middle of the fairway at around about 260 yards or so. A long iron for Manly. And watch the first bounce. See how firm the fairways are now. There we are. Remember at Lingfield Park it was soaking wet. Ball was going nowhere.
Well, after 3 birdies in a row, Tom Haylock now at the 374-yard par 4 7th hole. Nicely in position here too. And he's making the kind of move that all of those from the chasing pack were hoping for. I mentioned he's part of the Red Golf team, of course. Andrew Johnston is part of that management team as well, and he showed what can be done this time last year. Was playing on the EuroPro Tour, then got a few invites on the Challenge Tour, and now playing European Tour.
Of course, Stuart Manly, a former European Tour player, as is Martin Lomisure.
Yeah, and they've all been mixing it up with playing some Challenge Tour events this year. Manly was 26th in the recent one in France.
Five iron, little soft draw. Perfect, but it'll have to do. Another opportunity.
Well, you can't complain. He's just, as I say, like to get a few of the putts in. Mark Kurt from Scotland, going on nicely at 7 under.
Make that 8.
He birdied the first. Another one there. Pars all in between.
Manly just off the front left of this green. Awkward putt. A lot of green between him and the flag. His long range putting this week has been spectacular, but that one, sadly, got completely wrong.
Well, that's been the story of his day. I mean, he had to hold a similar range putt for par at the second, and nothing seems to be going right for him. Some days you go out and everything's a struggle, whereas for Haylock, well, this for 4 birdies in a row, it all seems plain sailing. So that stopped the run.
It's momentum. It's all about momentum, definitely. You get into a roll, go onto a run, your confidence is high, you take shots on.
Now Hatton back at 8 under now. Just dropped a shot at the 6th. He needs something good to happen, doesn't he, Tyrrell Hatton, just to get him in the right frame of mind. Talked about some of the players playing on the Challenge Tour. He made his debut in Colombia in March on Europe's 2nd tour, and he finished 8th. He's certainly got some talent, hasn't he, Hatton?
Another one goes a-begging for Lumario. Right now, he'll be getting very frustrated. He's had basically a birdie putt on every hole. Well, not on the second, of course, chipped and putted.
I mean, what sort of score do you think is going to take? I mean, he can't afford to really par in, can he, and stick at 12 under?
No, you would expect, you know, with good conditions like this, light breeze, of course in excellent condition, something around 14, 15 under.
Dear, another hole to forget for Stuart Manly, and he's now back at 9 under, having started the day at -12.
Ninth hole, 309 yards. There's been quite a few eagles here this week where players have taken it on. You can see the water there just down the left side, so it's a bold tee shot is rewarded.
Well, let's see what Archibald's going to try here.
Just an iron down the right. Fairway slopes from right to left. There we go. Nice bit of ground help. That should be fine there. If it slows down.
Steady. He'll be pleased with how he's going though, Archibald. He arrived this week with a bit of a back problem. Player who's won a couple of times on the EuroPro Tour last couple of seasons. Well, that's not going to make him feel much better, is it? At least he smiled about it.
That wasn't a smile of enjoyment, I can assure you. Just not staying with his putts long enough. He's coming up and out of them a little early. As Haylock is getting right through the ball.
But it's going to prove to be a costly hole, this one, for him. After that run of birdies, and it's going to be a double bogey at best, isn't it?
Ball above the feet. Slight downslope, very awkward. Flag just over the bunker. Oh, very well played indeed. So he couldn't get the spin because he was coming from the rough.
Yeah, similar story here for Archibald. 11th on the Order of Merit last season, 14th the year before, so he's a very consistent campaigner, and he's judged that pretty well.
Very pretty little hole, that's 9th. So like you say, Richard, after such a wealth of birdies, nasty knockback, double bogey for Haylock, and he drops back to -9. But no, little smile on the face, he understands things.
Well, he's 3 behind this man. Just a wedge in for Lomisure at 7. Another birdie look is coming up for the tournament leader.
Two birdies early on for Archibald. No bogeys. Out in a couple under. Two par 5s on this golf course are both on the back 9. It's a front 9 of 35.
Well, Lasky to go to the turn then in 32 if he can roll this in. That's a good attempt. His goal, he says, is to get back onto the Challenge Tour. Of course, a top 5 placing on the EuroPro Tour at the end of the season would mean that goal would be achieved. So Haylock might be a bit of anger in this tee shot, given what happened at the last. You don't want to overdo it, do you?
Going for the green. That's a long carry over the water. Has he made it? I think he has, you know.
Well, maybe give it everything. I thought he might risk going in the water, but there you go. He drove the fourth, the par 4 there, and he's done the same at 9. Another eagle chance now. Come on, Martin. Had birdie tries every hole since birdieing the first. There you go. And he looks so in command right now, doesn't he? Problems for Kerr at 9. Dear.
Coming off the back of a bogey on the 8th as well.
Yeah, when you start the day like Kerr did, 6 behind, you can't afford holes like the one he's having at 9. Especially the way the leader's playing. Here is Lumario.
Slightly offline here on 8. Oh, well, how lucky is that? That could have been in all sorts of bother. There's broom and thick trees and bushes and all sorts on the left of that 8.
Yeah, sometimes it's your day. Long putt here for bogey for Kurt. Yeah, it was a good putt.
You see aiming just a little to the right. Keep your head still. Looked a little early. Doesn't matter.
Terrific save. Keeps Archibald in the hunt. And there's a few players out there like Archibald and Haylock that know what to do to get it done here on the EuroPro Tour. Haylock, now this would erase the bad memories of the last hole if he could roll this one in.
Oh, good try. Yes, imagine if that had gone in and you said, what did you score for those 2 holes? Level par. It's a double bogey on the 8th and a birdie on the 9th.
Yeah, 4 birdies on that front 9 for Haylock. That was a terrific break, wasn't it, for Lomisure?
Yeah, but he's going to have to rely on his short game skills, which he used to good effect on the 2nd. Got up and down there. A little chip and run. Pretty good, you'd have to say, Rich.
Yep. Terrific chance to save his par, and as you say, hasn't really had to work too hard, whereas Manly, well, every hole seems to be a struggle for par. And that's what this course is like. If you're not on line, and it's not the longest course, but if you're not hitting fairways and greens, it can be a real problem, this course. And you look at what Chris Hansen achieved last year, 63-1, missed the cut this year on a course where he's won twice before, but as I say, not on your game 100%, and you can throw some big numbers in there.
Clever little shot from McGeady. Using the contours.
Yeah, he's recovered well from a sticky start, hasn't he? But Manly, well, he keeps having these kind of length putts for par. Already 3 over for the day. Well, keeps him there. He may be 3 over for the day, but you know, if, say, for example, Lumario doesn't make his putt, then he'd be 3 behind.
Hatton had a good chance of getting quite close from a good tee shot. Oh, at last. Smile. Go on. No.
No, too much damage earlier. But that takes Hatton to 9 under. McGeady also looking to get to 9 under.
And does. Deserve it after that excellent approach. So our leader, Lumario, this to stay at unlucky for some. Minus 13, that is.
First drop shot of the day for Martin Lumario. So he goes back to 12 under. He'll be kicking himself after that bit of a break going in and off the trees with his second shot. Doesn't escape with a par. Haylock now 2 back. In fact, it really is tightening up, isn't it, at this Your Golf Travel Classic. 7 players within 4 shots of the lead.
Richard and I are back out on the course, but we're really not in the most ideal situation. We found ourselves amongst quite a bit of rough. I don't know how we managed to get it down there. Richard, what would you do if this was a normal shot?
If this was a normal shot on the fairway, Charlie, I'll be hitting about 6 iron from here, which is quite a straight-faced club. Wrong club there.
What would happen if you hit it normally then from here?
I've got the straight-faced club. I'd address it with the ball a little bit forward in the stance as you normally do. I'd take that sweep action, which you know as you're on the fairway, you're just nipping it off the top so you get a nice backspin. But as I come in and start sweeping in, I'm going to pick up the grass. That's going to get in between the club face and the ball's going to go about a third of the distance. I'm not going to get that crisp strike that I need.
Well, it looks pretty impossible, really. I mean, If I'm out on the course, how would you get that airball?
You can't see much of it, can
No.
you? We'll take a much more lofted club, Charlie, than that 6-iron. We'll take about a 9-iron, much sharper, much more loft. And I'm actually, to get the distance, which is what I'm after from this shot, I'm going to put the hands forward. So I'm changing the loft down to about a 7-iron to try and get it to go, get the ball up in the air and just get it bumbling down towards the green.
Where would you be aiming for then?
I'll be aiming pretty much where the flag is, really, in between the bunkers. So if I do get a good enough crisp strike, it's going to roll down and get somewhere near the green. If it doesn't go far enough, I've got a simple chip and putt to save that par, which is, in this position, that's what it's all about, is just saving that par, not dropping a shot.
So you did pretty well on the other one. You said you were going to be clever. What can you do on this? Going to give it a go?
Yeah, we'll give it a go, Charlie.
Come on.
As I said, we're back in the stance, ball back here, hands forward, and just as I do catch that ball first, I'm going to pick the club up a little bit steeply. Then I'm coming down, ball first, and hopefully it's going to shoot forward.
Oh, it's slightly to the left.
Just a little bit left. Exactly right, so I wasn't going to go, it's in the bunker.
Is it in the bunker?
Yeah, I've got the distance, which I'm surprised at, but just pulled it offline.
So what went wrong there?
I just hit it a bit too hard. Seeing it looks so difficult to lie, that does just sometimes force you to put a bit too much strength in. Shoulder comes round and ball just swings a little bit left.
Well, you did that on purpose, didn't you? And we'll let you off because you did so well on the other one. Thank you very much, Richard. Let's get back to your commentary team now.
Well, no tangling with the rough here for Tom Haylock. 4 birdies and that double bogey on the front 9. Plenty of water around actually on this back 9. There's a couple of the rivers, they run through the back 9.
Moving this from right to left, and that is not in a nice spot. That's a little pot bunker on the left side of 10. Similar start, I suppose, to the front 9 with a par 3 on the second. There's a par 3 11th.
Lasky going along very nicely, couple of birdies, no drop shots, and this par 3 11th, another chance for a birdie.
Ball just sat down, you can see almost what we call an egg, a fried egg lie. So it comes out with topspin, almost slightly buried. Oh dear.
I'll get that, Tom. I'll get that, mate.
Lasky with a chance to get within 3 of the lead.
Good strong par 3. If you can make a 2 here, it is a real bonus.
Well, terrific play from Lasky. 3 under for the round. Well, Haylock threw in that big number at 8. Danger maybe dropping a couple here as well. Certainly is now.
Lumario going with wood. Strange decision. Perhaps he thinks he's going to take the water on. Going for the green. Don't normally see him hit the ball that hard off the tee. Normally a little more controlled.
I think that's hit the little river there down, as we saw it to the right of the picture, the little stream that comes across. So problems for the leader, problems here for Haylock.
Looks like it's going to be double bogey number 2 then for Tom. It is indeed. Back to -8.
Yeah, in the dropping zone then for the Lomisure.
Well, that's happening. Stuart Manly laid up with an iron. Just a pitch with a sand wedge. Don't take the bunker on. Whoa, the size of that bounce. Really has been a difficult day for Stuart, hasn't it?
Yeah, nothing's come easy for him. But problems as well for the Lomisure, which of course he'll be very aware of, Manly. But he could escape with a par, yep. No one able to make a real run at Lomisure since he's hit the front at the first.
Coming out of a rather thickish lie here on 10. Settle down, that's good. Well done.
Yeah, very much like the second par 3 of over 200 yards. Well, Haylock responded really well to the double bogey at 8. But he's not going to have a similar response here.
Looks like water then for Haylock. Water from the tee for Lumario. This then for his par figure. Putter not working today. So he's going to turn in level par, and quite honestly, his golf has been much better than that, Richard.
Yeah, no, I agree with you 100%, but it's all about getting the ball in the hole, isn't it? And with Lumario slipping back now to 11 under. Outside chance here for Hatton to get within 1.
One of those holes, 10, where, you know, if you offered most of the players a par, they'd probably take it from you, you know. Whereas this hole, you really should be putting from this distance for birdie.
Well, it's another of those length par putts, isn't it, for Manly? Well, that's a disappointing front 9. Started the day at 12 under. Now back at -8. One of the few players without a drop shot on his card so far, Lasky.
First par 5, 12th. That's okay there, giving himself a chance for a birdie. So they're just sneaking up on the blind side almost, McGeady. Oh, but that's a poor putt. Didn't look comfortable over that at all.
And as you say, after that bogey start, it reeled it back to a level par front 9, but starts the back 9 like he started the front 9. And as you said, water for Haylock then off the tee at 11. Well, surely not a third double bogey of the round.
Get it.
Yeah.
Well done, mate.
Pleased to take bogey, I can assure you. Archibald playing with Lasky.
Yeah, like Lasky without a drop shot on the card. Oh, I thought that was in.
Try.
Yeah, sometimes it's you're in a good 2-ball. Help each other along.
And get drawn along by the other's good play. Oh, unlucky there for Lasky. And it can actually work the other way as well, Richard, when somebody's struggling along. I mean, you look at the last group of Manly and Lumario. Manly really struggling, and Lumario playing good but can't score.
Well, another spot of bother here for Lumario. And another tester for par coming up. He's giving the chance here to one or two others still to have a shot at the title. Now, he's had a few eagle putts already today, hasn't he, Haylock? Calling for it to sit.
Oh, there's a narrow entry there through that bunkers at the front.
Third eagle putt of the day.
It was a very good shot.
The crowd liked it too. Now, Archibald's found his ball off the tee here at 13, but not sure what sort of lie he's got. Play it along the cart path, that's the way to get the run.
Could be the road to recovery, Richard.
Very good.
Or the path to success.
Okay, stop there.
Right.
Now that buggy needs to get out of the way, I think. Yep. Good detour left.
Par 5. 2 big hits to reach this in 1 under the card.
Well, plenty of roll, isn't there, for the players? Haylock's managed to get to this par 5 of 582 yards in 2 blows, albeit a long putt here for eagle.
Looks good, you know.
Right.
Oh, how about that? What a round he's had today. It's been up and down like an Otis lift.
Yeah, 4 birdies, couple of doubles, another bogey and an eagle there. And it all means he's very much in contention. Especially with Lumario here with another tester for par. No. So back he goes to 10 under. And Haylock after that eagle just a shot behind.
Well, there's all sorts going on. Bringing everybody into the mix, I suppose. Archibald then a crucial bogey putt here at 13. Oh dear. I hadn't dropped a shot all day, and then, well, you don't drop 1, you drop 2.
Yeah, and he won't be aware now that Lumario's dropped another, but it'll make it doubly frustrating when he does find out. And I'll tell you what, Hatton now a shot back. Well within range, just an iron with his second hit. Oh, a little unfortunate. Always get a reaction from him, don't we?
Yeah, smile on the face at last.
Well, not an easy hole to come to when you're dropping a few shots the way Lumario is. Just dropped 3 in a row. Oh. Has that gone in the water? There's an arm up. I'm not sure if that means good or bad.
Haylock at 13, 409 yards. It's only 4 holes over 400 yards long. 4 par 4s, that is. Yet the scoring's not low. The flags are in tough positions.
Winaski to avoid a drop shot. Has to get up and down, and played it pretty well. He's just 1 back now, of course. Well, he managed to avoid the water, but he's second to hit. But this, if he misses, would be 4 bogeys in a row. Oh, how about that? How important will that prove to be? Keeps him in front on his own. Otherwise, we would have had a 3-way tie. Having said that, Hatton here could join him at 10 under.
In the bunker on the front left of this green in 2, par 5, makes his birdie.
Co-leader now, the Q score winner, Tyrrell Hatton, with this man, Martin Lumario, of course, looking for back-to-back wins. As that par putt settled him down. along nicely. Perfect position.
Not sure he can reach in two, Martin, but Haylock one behind now. Is this to stay that way? No, looked up very early. Sneaked a peek, and usually that means you pull it to the left.
Well, continues his up and down day. Joy in 1 minute and then despair the next. Lasky, this would be a good up and down. Well, he drops his first shot of the day at just the wrong moment. Can't believe he's missed it. He thought he'd read it right. How's it gone left, he asks. Now Hatton, well, again, pretty fortunate to find his ball, really.
Also, like Archibald, having to come out sideways.
So, a few problems for one of the co-leaders, as you said. Lumario just out of range in two, but just a wedge in for his third.
That could be a real settler, that one. Just plotting his way down this hole.
Separated by a hole, but a terrific battle here at the top of the leaderboard. Can Hatton produce a quality wedge? Yes, he can. Brilliant.
So we've seen this putt just come a little right to left. He's got that aimed pretty much on the right lip. See if he rolls it end over end. Did, but didn't aim it far enough right. He struck the putt well, but didn't read it right.
Well, 2 birdies in his first 7 holes. 3 over par since then. Tied for the lead now with Hatton. Can he make his? This one, of course, though, for par. Oh, yes, he can. Well, getting very interesting here now at Bovey Castle, isn't it? The 20-year-old from Marlow there, Hatton with a terrific save at 13. Lumaire missing out with his birdie chance at 12 means they're tied at the top at 10 under par. But Manly, Haylock and Lasky, oh, just 2 back here at the Your Golf Travel Classic. Welcome back to the 888 Poker PGA EuroPro Tour. This event 3, the Your Golf Travel Classic from the beautiful Bovey Castle, and it's been a day where Martin Lumaire looked like he was just going to push on, started so well, but has slipped back and now tied for the lead at 10 under par.
2 very difficult holes that you've got to be aware of. This one of them, 13.
Yeah, seen a few tee shots left there. One of them was from Hatton. That was a great par from him, though, at the last.
Oh, it was a crucial par save. Could be the real momentum boost he needs.
154 yards, this par 3, 14th. And that'll do him nicely.
Just through the back left edge of 15. Like Lasky.
Yeah, just dropped a shot at that par 3 we saw Hatton on, back at 8 under. Similar length putt actually to the one he had at the last and missed.
That's another crucial hole as well, Richard, that 15th. It's the hardest hole on the course.
It's funny, isn't it, Manly? Nothing's happened for him today at all. 4 bogeys, no birdies, but He's only 2 shots back.
Well, he's got to think, I've got a chance now. I've got a very good chance if I keep doing things like that.
Yeah, opportunity for a first birdie of the day.
Now, Lumario could have taken a drop here, but he likes the lie. Stands a little awkward.
Oh dear. Well, he got it away with it at 11. Managed to avoid the water, but I don't think he has there. So Hatton doesn't know it. He has this for a birdie to take the outright lead anyway, but of course the man he's tied with has problems as well. Positive stroke.
He's hit most of his putts really bowled at the hole.
Yeah, he missed the cut at Lingfield Park, did Hatton, but did all right on the horse racing there. He had 6 wins in a second in 8 races. I'll have to get a few tips from him.
Don't leave your slippers in the rain, Rich.
No, back-to-back bogeys from Lasky after going bogey-free prior to that. And he goes back to 7 under. Don't want to write anyone off yet, but of course holes running out. Inopportune moments to throw in those drop shots.
So McGeady, if he can get to 8 under, will be within a couple. Just seemed to push that. It wasn't a confident stroke. It was sort of edged towards the hole.
Yeah, finished 4th at Calgon Castle last season. Of course, the EuroPro Tour is there next in Northern Ireland.
It looks like he wasn't in the water, Richard, and managed to gouge it out to here. So this for a par.
Whoa! Well, we said it was an important par for Hatton on that 13. Well, likewise for Lomisure.
Oh, is it a 2-man battle? Things like that are so important coming down the stretch, hitting the fairways. 15th, a tough par 4.
We asked the question, is it a 2-way battle? Well, Manly to get within 1 shot here for a first birdie of the day. Oh, that's gut-wrenching for him. Hasn't had too many birdie putts. That was a golden chance.
Not a long hole, 384 yards, but it's a tight tee shot and then a good, crisp, hard wedge. And that's what that is. Look how firm that green is. And he's hit that from the fairway.
Can't believe it, can he? Well, you just gave the answer, didn't you, Russ? Well, he's had a day to talk about, hasn't he, Haylock? He and his caddy Jason talking to it, coming up just short.
Birdie putt then, just off the back fringe. Just watch how his left arm collapses through the putting, through the hitting area. See, it comes up just a little bit early. Looks like he's trying to put a lot of topspin on the ball. I'd like to see that left arm maintain its extension right through the hitting area. We'll maybe look at that.
Long putt here for Haylock. Well, you can understand why he wants to be aggressive with his putts, but he's left a difficult one coming back.
Lumaire. Left hand edge of 14. No birdie for him.
Well, who is going to take the decisive move here? 4 or 5 players still within a chance of winning here at Bovey Castle. Of course, £10,000 for the winner, and it puts you into that top 5 for sure. This only being the 3rd event of the season, and it's where the players want to be. Of course, for the Lumario, he would be right up there at the top if he were to win, because he's already bagged one 10 grand check this season. No, well, just been too many mistakes today from Tom Haylock. He's played some lovely golf.
.16, 402 yards. Interestingly enough, you look at these last few holes, most players using long irons. See how fiery these fairways are getting from the lovely sunshine we've had.
Yeah, it makes a pleasant change. You see that flag behind the Lumario though, and the ladies' trousers flapping away. Breeze is picking up. Hey! Oh my goodness. Well, that looks big trouble for one of our co-leaders. Final hole then for Lasky.
512 yards, par 5, reachable. Good finishing hole this. You're rewarded with 2 good shots like that.
Well, he could do with holding that.
It's a long one though, Rich.
It is, but if he could get into the clubhouse at 9 under, you never know.
Nice square setup here for Hatton. Gets into it very quickly with his hips. Maybe thinking that the ball would bounce on like it did on the previous hole, and that's come up quite short.
Pretty good from McGeady. Huh? One of those who has won on the Challenge Tour, like the Lumario has.
Provisional ball off the tee, so this now is 4th shot, having not found his first. And that's going to be for a bogey 5. It's all unravelling for Martin.
As I say, if Lasky could knock this one in, 8 under, they still would be the clubhouse lead. Got a chance. Yeah, very nice effort from the Welshman. He likes his martial arts, does a bit of salsa dancing as well. And he's had some pretty good moves out there today. Archibald, who just slipped back over the last few holes, but finishes with a birdie. You see that double bogey he had at 13 proved too costly.
Lasky then 70, 64 and a 68 today. 8 under par, just a couple too far back at least.
Yeah, the Lumario looks like he's going to drop one, but Hatton has a chance here to get to 11 under. He won't be aware of what's going on behind, but focusing on his job. Got a chance.
Well done.
He has got to 11 under par. Well, this could be the pivotal moment, as I say, with what was a co-leader behind him in big trouble. Here is the Lumario. We might see a big swing here.
Crucial putt needs to go in, and has.
Wow, what a 5. Oh, what a 3 with the second ball. Still 2 shots now, the difference.
McGeady though now 4 behind his playing partner, so needs this with a couple of holes to go. I've got the pace wrong and the line wrong.
So is the Q School winner Tyrrell Hatton going to pick off his first EuroPro Tour victory for real? He now has a 2-shot advantage. Lumario digging in with that bogey 5, and a 68 from Lasky leaves him as the clubhouse leader at -8. Welcome back. Event 3 of the season on the 888 Poker PGA EuroPro Tour. We're at Bovey Castle here in Devon, closing stages, and well, at the moment, Tyrrell Hatton looking good. He's got a 2-shot lead. Manly in the final group with the Lomisure, 3 back.
Perfect tee shot there from Manly. That should set up a chance with a wedge in his hand for his second shot.
First half dozen holes or so in the Missouri looked like he was going to be a tough man to beat. Look at that for a bounce.
Par 3, 17, 156 yards. Just an 8-iron here for Tyrrell. Going a little bit down the left side. That's good. Got the club right.
Hatton looking solid now. Manly and the Missouri need to start finding some birdies over these closing holes.
A lot of spin there with his short iron on a firm green. What's the difference in the speed here? Lumario much quieter through the ball. Very balanced. Absolutely right on line, just a fraction short.
Well, more problems to finish off with for Tom Haylock, who's had a pretty entertaining day, hasn't he? He'll be another of those that will probably look back at this final round and think what could have been. But it looks like right now that this man is in charge, especially if he can roll this one in.
Quite a bit of left to right. Up the hill.
Well, it's great, isn't it? Just 20 years of age. He's had some achievements in the past. He was the youngest player at St Andrews at the Open in 2010. He's obviously done well in the Challenge Tour events that he's played in so far. But, you know, here he is in contention and he's in the heat of it. He's just birdied 16 and 17 and said to the rest of them, well, catch me if you can. And it doesn't look like they can. And Missouri failing with his birdie putt. And suddenly he's 3 back now.
Well, Manly then will more than likely need to hold this. One of those days, I'm afraid, Stuart. The golfing god has said no today to you.
So Haylock then to try and roll this one in for a 72. But he's obviously got a colourful card there, but I think he's a player to watch out for over the next few months here on the EuroPro Tour. Manly's been knocking on the door as well the last couple of tournaments.
Breeze just getting up, looks like a 7-iron for Stuart there. You can see the ball was hanging in the air. It's okay there.
I suppose with a par 5 to come, you never know.
6 iron. Stunted follow through, trying to keep it a little lower into the breeze. Right on target again for Lomisure. He's going to come off this golf course, Richard, and really berate himself. He had a massive opportunity today.
Well, he had a pretty decent lead as well at one point, but it's a healthy lead now for this man. No holding back. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, there's a touch of luck. Never hurts to be lucky, does it?
No. Manly with good 30 feet, left to right. Good try.
Well, definitely looks like it's Tyrrell Hatton's day, doesn't it, after that tee shot? But this could make it interesting if Lomisure can find the bottom of the hole here.
Really hasn't struck the ball on the line he's set it up on. We saw that was bouncing around.
Well, no cozying it up, is there, here from Hatton?
This is a bold decision. Ball well below his feet. Easy for this to drift well to the right, but he's gone the other way. Sit down, sit down. Heading for the bar a bit too early there, I think.
The road anyway, but even the road isn't out of bounds.
Okay.
So you're okay.
There you are. Bit of local knowledge. Heart away from mouth now for Tyrrell Hatton.
Starting it down the right, trying to draw it back to this fairway. It's hanging in the air forever, that for Stuart Manly, and that's perfect.
Yeah, 4 shots behind though, playing this last hole. You feel in some respect with Lasky already in the clubhouse at 8 under par. These two are really just battling for second, although don't want to make too many presumptions. Going left. Hey.
Is he going to hit a provisional? So Hatton, slight down slope. Ball seems to be lying okay. It's a bit thick, the lie.
That's fine. A par will do him. Can't really see him walking off with a 5 here and not winning the title. Especially given where the Lomisure's tee shot is. And I think he's just going to try and put this one into position. He's pretty close to where the tee shot of Tyrrell Hatton went.
Awkward this is. Ball well below the feet. Just a little chip and run. It's going to slide left to right on the green using the putter. Sensible move from McGeady.
Man, he's kept it together well, McGeady, after what was a difficult beginning to the day for him. '63 yesterday, 72 today. The crowd's around 18. Watching this man maybe take his first win here on the EuroPro Tour. Can he finish with style? But as I said, a par should do him. This for a final day 67, and surely that means that Tyrrell Hatton is the winner here of the Your Golf Travel Classic.
Back 9 of 32 there, Richard. Absolutely the best out of the whole field.
Well, Lasky broke 17 Martin Sell as well with a 68. We've had a few others in there, 68, 69, but that's the best round of the day, a 67.
Manly just on the front edge there.
Just shows you though, doesn't it? You know, a bit of breeze around, it's running firm and fast. Of course, hasn't got to be massive to pose questions.
And look how awkward this is, going up and over the trees. Third shot with a wood. Drifting right. Oh dear, oh dear. Stay there.
Well, it's the 6th consecutive year that Bovey Castle's hosted a EuroPro Tour event, and it looks like it's going to have a young champion.
That's got to sit down.
He had his moments of frowning, and disdain, his moments of joy, but as you say, that back nine, absolutely tremendous. It's a battle here for second, though.
If Manly can get up and down, which I think he might just do, he'd get to 9 under, and that would mean Lumario is going to need to get up and down to stay on that figure.
Yeah, there's
I birdied 9, 12, 16 and 17.
That's right, yeah, you did. Not sure if that's mum or dad, but whoever he's telling, you can tell them that he's the winner here now. As you say, important putt for financial terms for the Lumario. Winner at Lingfield Park, and well, he's going to finish either second or his own, or tied for second here at Bovey Castle. Not to be after that couple of birdies early on. He looked like the man to beat. Whereas Manly started really, really horribly, but has stuck around.
And they went out in 39.4 over. And a back nine of 1 under gets him tied for second.
First birdie of the day comes right there at the end. Well, the winner didn't come from this final group. It came from the youngster from Marlow. Tyrrell Hatton walks away with the spoils after that fabulous final round of 67. His win in the end at the Your Golf Travel Classic, 3 shots.
I had a good start to the season. I was out in America for 2.5 months, so that set me up well, and I was playing really well. And then last sort of few weeks, I'd sort of had a little blip and wasn't playing great. Quite a bit of tournament golf. So last week I had the week off, so practiced on my game, and it was nice that it paid off this week. I like to see where I'm at, and obviously saw I was 4 behind and thought I probably was out of it. But the wind started picking up, and the back nine was playing really tough. There's a lot of great players on here now, so it was a good win.
Congratulations then to Tyrrell, very worthy winner. Next up on the EuroPro Tour, we're in Northern Ireland at Galgorm Castle. Look forward to your company for that one, but from Ross McFarlane and myself, Richard Kaufman, it's goodbye for now.